Very good morning to all. I'm Srikanth Badiga, Regional Director and the Board of Director of voluntary Zone. I take this opportunity to thank every one of you for participating on this prestigious webinar which would be highlighted by Usam Abdullah. And this particular safe zone process, which we are trying uh, to promote through World Free Zones, is one of the flagship products of World Free Zone organizations. Before that, I would take an opportunity to just highlight some background of our World Free Zones organizations. Friends, once again, a very warm welcome. And today I'm taking the privilege of to present you on behalf of Dr. Samir Amroni, our CEO, who is a very dynamic person. So, due to some prayer engagements, he deputed me. But it's always a pride moment to talk about global organization like World Citizens Organization. So, as most of you people know, that is, we are World Citizen Organization is registered in Geneva and based in, and we have a headquarter in Dubai, and it's a totally a non-profit organization governed by board and its members by the terms of articles and principles association, and board of members are from all the global leaders, uh, the, the prestigious developers of free trade zones, special economic zones. I have an opportunity to be on the board for last 2 years. It's a wonderful thing what's happening through World Free Zones. And association members, you can see we have over 1,530 members from 140 countries. And it's political neutral and non-dominational, operating headquarters in Dubai, as I said. No shareholding or proprietary ownership. So this is a more of a of service oriented. We have World Free Zones is meant to service the entire free zone and special economic. So it is a global trade. What we're talking about. The moment you talk about, see, trade is the only thing which does not have any kind of barriers, connects person to person, region to region. Every time it encourages the connectivity and networking globally. So we are talking about operating in collaboration, multilateral organizations. As I said, UN, International Labour Organization, WTO, OECD, UNCTAD. So these are most of the people know these are the bodies who are into global policies. Like if we talk about WTO, India, we are WTO, we say WTO compliant when we talk about special economic zones. Similarly, other countries also, we have a global common agreement to do trade between nations to nations. So World Free Zone is associated with such kind of prestigious organizations. That is the beauty of it. Our vision, as I said, is to have free zone recognized globally as a tool for developing economic prosperity and socio-economic sustainability. Mission is like it's a common mission of the global trade. Like World Free Zone mission is to bring together free zone stakeholders from all over the world and promote their positive impacts by providing guidance, knowledge, and services to its members, so as to enhance free zones' contribution in the economic prosperity and social development of the host country. World FZ believes that free zones have an inherent obligation to deliver prosperity for the people. We believe this is the best done by creating free zones that are commercially successfully enterprises built on international best practices, economic sustainability, and transparency. We value fairness, free markets, competition, and innovation, values that we believe are key enablers of success, job creation, economic prosperity. This is what I was trying to tell. See, we World Peace Zone are part of the OECD policies also. When where we've been we're giving our thoughts and sharing our thoughts of all our members of arresting the illicit trade trafficking also. So there are many things to discuss, and probably we'll have more sessions with all our members, and we'll share with you what are the initiatives, what are the recommendations World Peace Zone has been giving. So let's talk about the 14 initial members and the singular vision. So this we have like 12 regional offices with 44 national contact points almost in almost all the countries what I've been trying from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. See, these are the list of countries where world free zones has its presence. Now, the services which is talking about, it's almost like four major things, like where we call free zone laboratory. Wherein we talk about our advisory services. Then we have a free zone development services and best practice benchmark, where we also involve industry specialists, academicians, and also the policymakers. That's how we generate this. So then about the lead generation and investment attraction, these two things plays a major role, and we've been very successful. Lead generation is more of a networking of businesses from one region to other region. And the moment you place yourself in we constantly keep conducting roadshows. When we keep constantly placing yourselves, automatically you know the potential of the region, and that's how the business will develop. We're very successful in conducting this. Next, now we have free zone networking continuation that we conduct global event successes. Webinars have been constantly done, and we have Omnia B2. Even that is a very interesting B2B kind of a thing. Now, academically, we have come up with a free zone academy, which is like we have like something open university and leadership program, SMEP. So these details we'll be sharing you shortly. Where with a very great academic industry, we don't restrict you to the classrooms or to webinars. We bring on board along with the best papers. We bring on board the experts who are live, who are already working, who have so that they can share with us their best practices, their success stories. That will be more helpful for the new entrepreneurs, the budding entrepreneurs, who are getting into this free zone practices. Next, we have this Free Zone Institute, where you have this publication certificate this year. Remember, dear friends, you are welcome to send your suggestions, papers, and if you feel they are really good and there's some value addition, we'll definitely include in our publications. So we have something like ISDR index. In ISDR framework, we have something categorized into P1, P2, P3, which you can see the best in class practices, innovation, sustainability. Under this best in class, we have something like knowledge based thing and the safe zone practice, which this particular session is running about, and the tech readiness about our industries. Now, about innovation, we encourage entrepreneurs to come up with their ideas, and we showcase their SEZs. We welcome them on board. We give them opportunity to present their skills globally. That's how we do here. And SME developers also, because for any economy, any country, SMEs are the backbone of any economy. So we world free zones do encourage such kind of SME developers as well. And innovative, as you know, there's no innovation. I don't think there's no any development. So our trust area is once again is upon innovation of any. It could be anything. Now sustainability. Now, as you know, the entire world is talking about how best are your environment, how best are your projects are, how green they are. So we are talking about something like environment friendly. In the recent past, we also we got in touch with UNCTAD and talking about renewable energy projects, talking about green wells, reducing the carbon ratings, and so all carbon footprint basically. So next is good place to work. It's in the continuation of the kind of infrastructure, the kind of you're making it available for the best of the best environments to work with, and socially responsible. Like most of our organizations, just in case we talk about India and Phoenix also, we give back to the society in form of CSR also. So World Peace Zone also encourages such companies. We are giving back to society in a big way. So this is what it is. So it's more about business excellence and economic contribution. This is their part talks about. And most importantly, I would like request every one of you to log on your calendar that on 2nd and 3rd of May, we are going to have our annual show, that is AIC 2023 in Dubai. So I take this opportunity to welcome you all to register and be present and take maximum value, because Dubai, as you people know, it's turning it very, very interesting. And people from all over the world will be coming here for having their own expo stalls in the expos, and also we'll have a great opportunity to interact with each other. So with this, I think I will stop here and request Sajjana to take go to the next level. Thank you, everyone, for patiently hearing me.
Very good morning to all of you, and I would like to thank you all for joining the webinar and listening to my presentation on Safe Zone. Safe Zone is a certification program. It's one of our flagship at the World Free Zone Organization. It's one of our main products. And this is like, this program is like a new global standard for free zones to show that they have clean trade going on in the free zones. And when I say free zone, it means free trade zones, or could be special economic zones. It could be industrial parks, as long as they are bounded, as long as they have fence and they have customs on existing on the premises. So we know that illicit trade is unfortunate. It's a byproduct of global trade flowing inside and outside the free zones, and it represents as much as 15% of global GDP and cost about $509 billion. It's like 3.3% of global trade. So we are at the World Free Zone Organization have worked with international partners to help design what we call a voluntary standard. So it's not a mandatory standard. It's a voluntary standard for any interested zones that would like to showcase that they do have clean trade. So we have worked with our partners and incorporated the World Customs Organization Safe Framework. We have incorporated the World Trade Organization Facilitation Agreement and the OECD Code of Conduct for clean trade, free trade. So based on these three standards, we have come up with a final, what we call Safe Zone Certification Program, Safe Zone Certification Standard, a new global standard. Okay. And the World Free Zone Organization, we have built this program again as a voluntary compliance model to protect zones from illicit activities taking place within their borders, and to help them promote their integrity, transparency, and governance to different stakeholders. So the scope of this program covers free trade zones, cover special economic zones, industrial parks, as long as they are bounded, as long as they have boundary walls, as long as they have fences. Like here in UAE, in Dubai mainly, we have healthcare city. It's a free zone, but it doesn't have, it's a city, it doesn't have boundary. We have internet city, it's a free zone, but it is open, it's a city. And so many zones, they are unbounded. So this standard cannot be applied because they cannot control the trade flowing in and out. We have launched this program in 2018 before the COVID-19, and we have launched it for pilot free zones who applied the program. One of them is Dubai Airport Free Zone Authority, and another one is Barcelona Zona Franca, another one in Luxembourg, and another one in Latvia, and so on. So 5 free zones have tested the program, applied the program, and certified by the World Free Zone Organization certification body called KGH, demonstrating that they have clean trade. So the for successful zones, there will be two types of certification. The first one is safe zone, and the other one is safe zone platinum. The difference between both is that safe zone, it's required that the free zone authority to sign a commitment to the code of conduct, the OECD Code of Conduct. For the safe zone platinum, which is a higher certification, it's required that applying free zones, applying for this program, they have to sign the Code of Conduct, OECD Code of Conduct, plus security declaration has to be signed by all companies operating in the free zone. Okay, so this is the difference between both certification. Okay, the certificate is valid for 2 years. After 2 years, it's optional for the zone to go for recertification or to say, no, thank you. We are now having clean trade and we are safe. So we will not continue. Definitely we encourage zones to apply each 2 years for recertification. In March 2019, the World Free Zone Organization headed a delegation of 20 free zones and met with the OECD to showcase their efforts, helping zones demonstrate their clean trade credentials. So there are so many benefits actually for zones applying our certification program. It's definitely for like high-level governments or countries or even the free zones. Trade will be facilitated smoothly. There will be more attraction of FDIs or investors, will be more increasing exports and enhancing the economy, the local economy, and improving the image and creating jobs inside the zones. At another level, for partners like banks, logistic industries, or multilateral organizations, again, the benefits are but not limited to trade facilitation, risk reduction, and when risk is reduced, liability will be reduced, and the zone, when it is safe and having clean trade, it will create very good business opportunities and more jobs. How do you apply for this certification? Okay, first of all, everything is online. You can access to our website. And the first thing is that you have to register. You have to register on our website, fill out a registration form. Registration form will come to us, and we have Safe Zone Committee. They will decide on approval, provided that the zone is bounded, the zone is in operation for more than 3 years, and there's an organization structure to show the hierarchy of the free zones, people operating in the zone. Then once the approval is given, then an email will be sent to the zones to create a username and password to log in. Okay, and in this case, we will request the free zone, the zones who apply to have signed the contract, and they need to sign the Code of Conduct, pay 50% initial payment. The total payment will be $10,000. So they have to pay online through our portal payment gate, 50% in advance, and they have to send us a copy of the zone's license. Okay, once it is done, we will send them a welcome email to start what is called self-assessment questionnaire. When they do the self-assessment questionnaire, we can do, if they need, we can do and create an awareness for them if they need. Okay, then Once the questionnaire is done, it has to be sent to us again online. Everything is online. Okay, we will do desktop review of the self-assessment questionnaire, definitely by third independent party, and a report will be sent to the applying zone saying that these are the strength points, these are the areas for improvements. Once they work on the areas for improvement and they say we are good, we are ready, we will assign third-party validator to go and plan for a visit to conduct site visit. The validator, based on the visit, he will submit a final report to the safe zone committee with the outcomes, with the findings, and after that we will request the second payment, the balance payment of 50%, and before rewarding the safe zone certification. The rewarding is usually taking place during our annual conference. That our next annual conference will be in May 2023. And if there is any, when the validator goes to the site and in case he finds some areas for improvements, definitely the zones are requested to implement corrective action as quick as possible and send it to the validator in order to request for issuing the certificate. It's a very simple process. All process have to be done online, and it's an easy, you can easily access it. And definitely I like to assure you that in case any zone has any inquiry related to the self-assessment questionnaire, cannot understand the requirements, we are willing to do and create awareness. So the first step, we request zones, applying free zones to complete a registration form, or what we call application form, and this form has to be signed by top authority in the free zone, and they have to assign a contact person to liaise between the free zone and the World Free Zone organization. Okay. Now, regarding the self-assessment questionnaire, it's an online questionnaire that has mainly 7 areas to be covered. One of them is general information about the zone. The second item is, our second question is related to trade compliance, how trade is done in compliance with the customs organization standards. Then what sort of records are kept to demonstrate that trade is clean? Then what sort of financial transactions done? This is financial viability. And again, how is this cascaded down to the supply chain? And what are the security requirements to ensure that the ecosystem around the zone is covered and by security and the standard for safe zone. Then again, we have due diligence. They have to talk about what sort of due diligence they do before registering companies inside the zones and how do they assess risk. Again, what sort of transparency exists in the zone between the zone's authority and the companies, and whether the zones is complying with the code of conduct initiated by the OECD. So the key success factors here is that you have for free zones to sign the code of conduct, and preferably let companies operating in the zone sign the security declaration. The code of conduct is the backbone of this program. Okay. It's following OECD standard through several key behaviors and logistical elements that free zone must adhere to. And if it is done, then the zone is eligible to be certified as safe zone. Okay, the security declaration, as I said, it has to be signed by the companies operating inside the zone. And this is, this is a higher level certification in addition to signing the code of conduct. Okay, just I wanted to remind zones because this program is really and highly it has high standard. It's a high standard. It has high value, adding value. So it is aligned with the international standards ISO 18000 for health and safety and ISO 28000 for safety and security inside the zones. I do recommend that if zones, they need to learn to benchmark their practices against, I do recommend Dubai Airport Free Zone as a role model who applied this program, and they have received certification and recognition from the Higher Council of National Security in UAE. So they have implemented the zones, the standard, the safe zone certification program very well. And they have, any free zone can have or should have like security patrolling and monitoring the bounded area, having CCTV cameras, and they have physical control. They can have smart patrol vehicles like cars, segways, and utility vehicles. They can have many things like what they did in Dubai Airport Free Zone Authority, such as the face recognition, the gate pass reader, smart seals tracking, enhanced security pay, automated undercarriage vehicle inspection, so many things. So we can facilitate, if you like, any free zones interested, we can facilitate a benchmark with Dubai Airport Free Zone for them. Okay, they can have a smart e-gate pass for even people entering the zones. They can be scanned and without them knowing. So, to make sure that they are not armed with illegal weapons. Even cars entering the zones and entering the parkings inside the zones, it can be scanned without the drivers knowing that they have been scanned. Make sure cars are not carrying any illegal products, weapons, drugs, etc. So the impact of this certification, really, it builds confidence and trust in the zones operation model. And finally, I would like to say that the program is a global reference. It's an important win-win instrument for all stakeholders. Zones will show compliance with international standard for clean trade. I do invite all free zones, whether they are free trade zones or whether they are special economic zones or whether they are industrial parks, provided that they are bounded, to go for this standard. It's highly recognized standard that will impress the local governments and international governments. Thank you very much. And in case you need anything, any inquiry, any help, please write to us at www.certificationhub.org or write to me directly, Hussam Abdullah, and this is my mobile. You can write to me on WhatsApp as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hussam. Thank you very much, Srikanth. So my name is Sajan Wagis. I am the IT manager of World Free Zones Organization. So I'll just show the website demonstration so that it will be easy for you to apply online. I'll just share my screen. Okay, so the website is certifications.com, certificationshub.com, and it's a very simple process for registration. You can go through the website. We have a lot of details given here. We have 3 kinds of certifications. All our certifications are, consolidated into this website so that, on a regular basis, free zones can adhere to these programs as and when it is available. So as of now, we have Safe Zone program, which is our flagship product, and you can just go here and register your free zone. So I'm just registering a test free zone. And then you can choose the type of the free zone, whether it's general or any type of free zone. Just fill in your address, city, country, website if you want, you can give, and you need to give the focal point whom you will be related as a free zone manager for the Safe Zone program so that we can coordinate regularly. You can give the job title and the email address you wish to use it for along the process. And the most important thing is that the free zone allowed to take part in the Safe Zone program should be a bonded free zone. So you can just say yes or no. If it is no, then you are possibly not be eligible to take part in the Safe Zone program. And then the year of establishment, 3 years is a minimum time period you need to be as a free zone to be eligible for becoming a safe zone. You can give the phone number and then agree to the consent and then register, click on register. So you will receive a thank you email. And the next step, how we can do that. What will be the next step? I will be showing to you. So here you have received a thank you email. So what you require next is the eligibility document, which is required to be submitted for the Safe Zone, our OECD Code of Conduct, and the Free Zone Agreement, the World Free Zone Agreement, which you need to be signed, along with the Free Zone license copy and the payment receipt. You need to do a 50% payment to adhere in the program, which is $5,000. So I'm just, after that, you can create your password. You'll be receiving another email after the approval from the Safe Zone Committee. Once you click on that, you will be allowed to create your password. So you can create your password to log in. So once you have created the password, log in with your email address you have registered during the registration process. This I'm using another email ID just for the test purpose. So you will be reaching the dashboard of the Certification Hub's website, where you will see that the Safe Zone is the program which is ready to be adhered. And once you click that, you will reach the dashboard where you will find eligibility documents. This is something very important to go for the next step of the application. You can download these 2 documents, which are, one is the World Free Zone Agreement, which you need to be signed, and also the OECD Code of Conduct. You can download that Go through this and then fill in your name and details and just get it signed and stamped by the free zone authority and upload this back. You need to upload both these documents. So we have Code of Conduct document here. Go through this. Similarly, you can sign here, put the company stamp, and then get it back here and upload it here. So for example, I'm just uploading it back here. So you should have the 50% payment receipt ready. And the free zone license. And then submit. So that's it. You are done with the second phase of this program. And then once you are ready with whatever approval you have got, World Free Zone Committee will be giving you the approval to go to the next step and present your questions, SAQ questions online. Let's see how we can do that. So here I have already logged in with the approved approval from World Free Zone Committee, and then we can go to the SAQ, which is a self-assessment questionnaire, which are having 7 sections over here, and then you can participate in one-by-one questions and the answers here. There's also an explanatory notes which is written here, so you'll have some kind of idea of what exactly the question is aiming to. You can answer these questions, you can write your comments, you can attach your documents if you have any, and if you don't have any proper answer, you can mention not applicable. And then all the sections, you have to save it and then go to the next section, go through all the sections, submit all your answers, save it, and then click submit. Once you're done with this, a validator, a third-party validator will be in place from World Free Zone Organization, and then the validator will be coordinating with the Free Zone Manager to guide the Free Zone for the next steps. If there is any clarifications required in the SAQ, the validator will be informing from time to time. So this is a very much straightforward process of the submission of your applications. And from there, the validator will create a validation report, as Usam has already explained you. And then the committee will decide on to give whether the Free Zone a platinum certificate or a prospect certificate. Of course, for a platinum certificate, you need to have your companies inside the Free Zone to sign the security declaration. You can see in our dashboard the security declaration document, which will be there. You can go there and you can see the security declaration document. This is a security declaration document which you need to sign on behalf from all your companies, and then you will be eligible for the platinum certification. So that's it from my side. I'm handing over to Srikanth for the Q&A, and then to give the word of thanks. Thank you very much.
Very nice, Sajjan. Elaborative. I can see 2 questions. I think three questions for Josam Abdullah sir. So probably you can take that.
Usam, there's a question called who are validators and how are they selected?
The validator is so far KGH. It's a Swedish company that they have been recognized by the World Customs Organization, OECD, and it's selected by by their recognition internationally. We have tried them during our pilot free zones, and they proved to us that they are competent actually in validation. So yeah, we will be using that certificate validator certification body at this moment.
how do you see the safe zone certification relates to the global process? More specifically, how could it create further value for individual free zones?
Well, any third-party certification is a recognition, independent recognition that is recognized internationally. Like if you go for ISO certification, any type of certification, this certification is recognized internationally. So this particular program is built on a recommendation and the standard of three main multilateral organizations that relate to safety and security: the World Trade Organization, the World Customs Organization, and the OECD. So definitely, you know, any certification to this or against this program will be recognized by these three independent multilateral organizations. Yeah, and that's where the credibility come from.
Thank you so much. So once again, it was a good knowledge sharing for us. Thank you, Usam sir, and thank you, participants. See, this is only at the beginning. I'm sure you have understood what the safe zone we're talking about. Probably once we share the entire details, you can once again go through and kindly feel free to get back to us. As I said, in India, we have the regional of world free zones. Along with me, Ms. Uma is also there in this particular webinar. Both of us here to help you out, and probably further any the more questions have come up, we can definitely request Mr. Sam Abdullah to answer. And most important, how effective we can adapt is the biggest thing. I would like to share with you all that in India, very soon we'll be launching a couple of major free trade zones, special economic zones are planned to take up these safe zones. We have made some comparison also. Like every zone has their own way of coming with their term rules and regulations, safe zone and all. But what they feel is the moment we take this safe zone, which have been advised by world free zones, it's much superior, and their particular zone will be claimed as the global economic zone. So there's a lot of value addition, as you've seen in the presentations, the different aspects, different factors, different inferences, which on which we call it as a safe zone. So it's not only about the entire thing, but it adds more value to your production and productivity, and how conscious you are about it. So thank you once again. Kindly feel free to get back to us, and we are always here to serve you. And thank you, Sajjan and the World Free Zone team, for giving me this opportunity. Our dynamic CEO, Mr. Dr. Samir, is also there. So, Dr. Samir, thank you once again. Do you have anything to say, Dr. Samir?
Okay. First of all, I need to thank you all, Srikant, for your handling this a very important meeting, Hussam and Sajan for the presentation information. Just two short observation, and these observations are more than observation, answering two main questions that I have seen there in the Q&A. One is regarding the validator in the Safe Zone certification program. World Free Zone Organization joint hands with KGH Customs. KGH is the Swedish company belonging to the Maersk Group and Holding, and KGH is the most renowned and famous and experimented company in innovating and improving and updating the customs within the zones. Just to let you know that when the UK Brexit, the European Customs Unions, KGH Custom was the entity that updated all the UK customs law, infrastructure, and technology. So our validator, our independent validator, very well experienced and experimented validator from the company. Regarding the OECD, the World Vision Organization has worked very closely with the OECD. When the OECD in early 2017 and 18, let's say, issued a draft of the Code of Conduct for the safe zone, for clean zone. And if you remember, Srikant, we have been in Paris and we presented our recommendation to that Code of Conduct. The Code of Conduct of the OECD has been approved in September 2019, and immediately the World Vision Organization adapted and adopted that Code of Conduct of part of the process, and we continue collaborating and working with the OECD in order to, let's say, promote that Code of Conduct for clean zones, and in order somehow to have the recognition of our certification. These are the two observations I wanted to mention. More than an observation, it's just an answer. And again, thank you very much, Srikant. Srikant is our board of director member and the head of our regional office in India. Hussam is our chief business development and strategy, and Sajan is our IT director. We remain at your disposal. All the participants in this conference will receive by email all the presentation that have been shared, and we remain at your disposal for any kind of question. And we encourage you to adhere to this program. I think this is the best way to show to the world that free zones are committed with safety, security, and compliance for people, money, goods, and intellectual property. Thank you, Srikant. The floor is yours to close.
Thank you so much. So that was a very important point which you have made, Dr. Samir, about that OECD Code of Conduct. And in India also, people were asking about this thing. Probably I request you and and Usam Abdullah to have one more session with an elite group of people who wanted showing interest in this particular thing. So thank you so much once again, every one of you for patiently hearing us, and hope to get associated to work together in future. Thank you once again. Thank you, Sajjan.
Bye-bye.